let's dive into this incredible story called The Three Epic Workers. Now, it's a really old tale, but honestly, its message about what we do with our opportunities, well, it's more important now than ever.
No, really, just think about that for a second. Imagine your boss hands you a life-changing amount of cash and just takes off. No calls, no emails, nothing. What's your next move? Because that is the exact spot our three workers find themselves in. So our story kicks off with a master who's about to head out on this huge, epic journey. But before he goes, he's got one last, really important thing to do. He needs to put his most trusted people to the test.
And we're not talking about a weekend getaway here. This guy was going to be gone for a long, long time. And obviously, he can't take his entire fortune with him. So he decides to trust three of his workers with it. He's basically placing a huge bet on them.
Okay, so this is super important to get. When we hear the word talent today, we think of a skill, right? But back then, a talent was a massive amount of money. Like literally, think of a pirate's treasure chest filled with gold. That's the kind of wealth we're talking about. So the stakes in this story, they're incredibly high.
Now, the master was a pretty smart guy. He didn't just give everyone the same amount. He gave it out based on what he thought each person could handle. So, 5 talents for the first guy, 2 for the second, and 1 for the third. And with his money all divvied up, he was off on his trip. All right, the master's gone, and now the real test begins. Each of these workers is holding a fortune. They have an incredible opportunity and a huge choice to make. What are they going to do? And this is where things get really interesting. The first 2 workers, they get to work right away. I mean, immediately. They start trading, investing, doing everything they can to make that money grow. But the third worker, he was just scared. He was so paralyzed by fear that he took his one talent, went out, dug a hole, and just buried it. His only goal was to not lose it. So after a very long time, the master comes back. And you know what that means? It's time to settle the accounts. Every single worker now has to come forward and show what they did with the fortune they were trusted with. So, first up is the worker who got the 5 talents. He comes forward and he's got some incredible news. He didn't just protect the money, he doubled it. He turned those 5 talents into 10. Wow! And the master, he's absolutely thrilled. He praises the worker, calls him good and faithful, and promises him even bigger and better responsibilities. I mean, this is the best case scenario, right? Next up, the second worker, and guess what? It's the same amazing story. He took the 2 talents he was given and turned them into 4. He doubled it too, and the master gives him the exact same high praise and the same promises for the future. And then the third worker comes up. You can just feel the energy shift, can't you? He's not carrying any extra bags of gold. He's just holding that single, original talent the master gave him. So he starts trying to explain himself. He says, look, I knew you were a tough boss, and honestly, I was terrified of losing your money. So I played it safe. I just hid it in the ground. You see how his whole mindset was based on fear, not on the opportunity he was given. Yeah, the master was not impressed. Actually, he was furious. He called the worker wicked and slothful, which is just an old-fashioned way of saying lazy and useless. He told him that at the bare minimum, he could have put the money in a bank to earn a little interest. Doing nothing at all, that was the absolute worst thing he could have done. Okay, so this is a really powerful story, but it's not actually about money. It's a parable, you know? It's meant to teach us something deeper. So let's flip this around and ask the most important question. What is your talent? See, for us, right here, right now, a talent isn't a bag of gold. It's something way, way more valuable than that. It's that unique mix of gifts, skills, and abilities that makes you, you. And these talents can be absolutely anything. Maybe you're just really good at noticing when someone's having a bad day. Or maybe you can explain really complicated things in a simple way. Maybe your brain is just an idea machine. Or maybe your biggest talent is just being kind and loving to people. All of those things are huge, powerful talents. So after all that, after following these 3 workers on their journey, what's the big takeaway for us? What is this ancient story really trying to tell us today? It really all boils down to this one simple but massive idea. You have been given amazing gifts, and the worst thing you could possibly do is what that third worker did. Let fear convince you that burying those gifts is safer than sharing them with the world. So, this story is really a challenge, isn't it? It's asking us to take whatever we've been given, our skills, our passions, our abilities, and actually use them. Use them to help people, to build things, to create, and just to make the world around you a tiny bit better. And that's really the heart of it all. That old story is finished. But your story, it's just getting started. So the real question the story leaves us with is, what are you going to do with your talents? If this story gave you something to think about, go ahead and subscribe to UNLTD for more explainers just like this one. Thanks so much for watching.